Hello and welcome to Wolfman Gaming. This is my Metro Exodus, the Two Colonels DLC. It's just a scratch trophy slash achievement walkthrough. And this is mission 3, technically mission 4. I've said that throughout all these 3 episodes that I skipped the second level since it's purely expositional. But I have named this mission Endgame. I was thinking about calling it The Last Stand or something really dramatic like that, but this title is probably gonna be long enough. So I went for the shorter title called Endgame. And here, for some reason, somehow, no one knows why, but we're thankful for it. Klebnikov has installed an automatic pneumatic system in his flamethrower. And what this means is that you see the pressure gauge, try saying that 3 times quickly, is up just at the edge of the red. It's maxed out in the green, and it will stay there automatically. When you start firing, of course it will lower, but the very second you stop firing, it will slowly start to climb again. So you don't have to pump this flamethrower anymore unless you get really trigger happy and start blasting everything and going complete Ripley on stuff. Which you will thankfully not have to do. You don't even have to do it when you're playing this on Ranger Hardcore. And this was the level I managed to get through on pure fucking principle, because I've talked about the fact that I accidentally played this on Ranger Hardcore. And I never had to pump it manually there either, so that's a good thing. Love the automatic pneumatic system. Probably not the correct term for it, but who gives a shit. And I've said that about the pneumatic weapons in these games, that I'm not a big fan because of that pumping motion that you have to do. You always have to keep the pressure up. I like the regular weapons where you just switch the clip and go on blasting. And here we will have a big fight against Nosalises. But they are triggered by you turning a lever and trying to reboot the system. You can hear a voice talking about that they have a system failure. And until you turn that level, you are completely safe in this area. No monsters will arrive. You'll hear sometimes them screeching and shit like that, but they will not show up. And that is the lever I'm talking about. And when shit kicks off, I'm gonna move over to kind of the opposite corner of this room from where I am now, or where I was heading. I don't know if there are any super advantages of standing in that corner. I just found it easy to, sorry, accidentally turned off the little flame on my flamethrower. That is your only light source. You don't have a flashlight in this expansion. So it is a bit darker than the main game. But here you see over to my left there is a truck, and I'm gonna wedge myself in between the back end of that truck and the wall. And that's what I did on Ranger Hardcore, and I found it to be quite good because they could never flank me, and it's easy to cover this room. And we're gonna start this fight up right now. So we turn the lever turn the lever over, and an alarm goes off, and we're just gonna move in here. You can crouch down if you want to. I prefer to stand up because it gives you a better overview of this room. And also you see that blast door over there. That's what we're waiting for. That's what we did when we turned the lever. It's rebooting the system and trying to open the blast door. So keep an eye on that and listen to the voice. She will tell you how far the reboot section has, or reboot sequence has gotten. And when it reaches 100%, the blast door will open. And I'm not quite sure if these enemies are an infinite spawn. I don't think they are, but when I saw the door open, I made a run for it. And there we have an Osalis that has glitched, sadly. Don't worry about him. I think that was just me getting unlucky. Because this flamethrower is extremely effective when it comes to these guys. One quick blast to the face or chest and they will go up in flames like a torch. And immediately either die or flee. Which one they do doesn't really matter. The main focus is that they fuck off. Also keep an eye on your fuel tank. That is very important, especially in the last fight. Because the reload animation on this weapon is super slow. We have the big tank installed now. This is where I made my run for the door. And we will pick up the extended tank. So we will get an even bigger fuel tank for our weapon. But also something I've wanted to talk about that I've forgotten about in the first two videos. And something that is completely unrelated to this game. But not entirely unrelated to my channel. Finally, Naughty Dog decided to give us an update about The Last of Us Part 2. And we have got the release date, people. It will be released on February 21st next year. I'm really looking forward to it, of course. Being the nerd that I am, quick note here. Nosalises are gonna come running through that door. So I'm gonna try and trigger them and put myself in a position because one of them will come jumping down from the roof. So I wanna trigger them and put myself in a position where they cannot flank me. But going back to The Last of Us Part 2, I'm really excited about that game coming out. And I have pre-ordered the collector's edition. I have actually pre-ordered it at 2 different places. Because that's the kind of guy I am. And hopefully, if the spirits are willing and everything goes well, I will make a guide for that too. If you remember, if you have followed my channel, I have said this numerous times. I did a walkthrough for The Last of Us 1 and its expansion. And that was the first walkthroughs I ever made. And this is also something I've said before, the walkthroughs in themselves are super good. I'm really proud of them. The commentary is absolutely atrocious. This is also something you've heard me say before. Because I was super nervous. I had never done anything like this before. If you don't count recording music, but then you have a script called the lyrics of the song, so that's a lot easier. But trying to talk over a video and trying to say something interesting or be concise if you're trying to help people, that was something that really scared the shit out of me, and I wasn't used to hearing my own voice, so I sound really weird in those videos. And sometimes I really wish I still had the raw videos without the narration left, because then I could do a re-narration. Because I feel nowadays I have much more confidence when I'm doing this, and a bit more used to it. This, if I recall correctly, this is my 258th video that I upload to YouTube. And this is also my 13th walkthrough, I think. I think I did a count on the playlist, and I have done 12 walkthroughs. 2 blind playthroughs, and I will probably do more of those because they are super fun to do. Don't know exactly for which game I will do the next one, because the main focus of this channel has always been walkthroughs. And also, I have done a music video for Swedish black metal band Wattain's song The Wild Hunt. It's also up on my channel if you haven't seen it. I really would recommend you check it out. I'm really pleased with it. Because when I read the lyrics for that song the first time, it struck me that the lyrics for that song really fitted, or most parts of them really fit well into Bloodborne. So it's been in the back of my mind. By the way, here is the extended tank. Make sure you pick that up. But it really fit well. No, I said that already. But it was at the back of my mind for a very long time that it would be really cool to take cutscenes out of Bloodborne and edit them into a music video. And this summer, when I was on vacation from work, or when I was on summer leave from work, I finally had the time to sit down, record. I recorded a playthrough of the game and cut out all the cutscenes, and started editing a music video. And I must say, having done all these walkthroughs and blind playthroughs and all that thus far, that is one of the hardest projects I've ever undertaken. Because the song is around 5.5 minutes, something like that. I trimmed out a little bit of it at the end, because there is an acoustic part at the end, which I cut from the video. And trying to fit in the sequences so they would go somewhat fluently in with the song was super hard. But I had so much fun doing it. And I spent, I think, 2 entire evenings, and I still, when I watch it, I still feel that, oh, this could have been done a little bit better, and this could have been probably moved 100 of a second to the side, to the left side or right side. But it's always like that when I do a project. Almost always, I'm gonna say. By the way, this is the last workbench you will get to. So install the extended tank. Clean your weapon just for safety's sake, so it doesn't jam when you go into the final fight. Because it never happened to me. Once again, not even on Ranger Hardcore. I'm just gonna go in and dismantle these little medkits. And also do some extra ammo. I was up at 970. Which is a lot more than you're gonna need. But I couldn't. I had the resources, so why not? But this is the final fight. First, we're gonna be attacked by a bunch of Nosalises. I like to stay in this corner, it doesn't really matter, but I think this corner is quite good because all of them land in front of you. And after you've taken down a few of them, one of the blind ones from the main game will show up. And the Dodge Master trophy is for taking him out without getting hit by one of his throwing attacks. And when that fight starts, first you will take a forced hit. It's totally scripted. Here we go. And now he will throw one of these Nosalises at you. So hold down the left stick to the left. So you immediately move to the left. That's the mistake I did. And then just start frying this big asshole. As soon as the steam shoots down, that's the end of phase 1. Take this time to reload your flamethrower. And now a bunch more of Nosalises are gonna show up. I try to shoot short bursts. Once again, wedge yourself in the corner. And when you see them start running away, that is your cue to reload once again. There is one straggler, just fry him. And the blind one will show up once more. There were 2 stragglers, 3 even. And he's gonna show up again. Try to move around him in a circular pattern and never let off the trigger. Make sure you hit him. Try to throw another Nosalis at me, that missed. If I hadn't been clumsy just at the start, I would have gotten the trophy here. And this, now the fight is over. Because this is scripted. This is also something I could have trimmed out. This is my mistake. But we are gonna open a vent on our flamethrower and he's gonna kill himself. Lovely. And I can say, on Ranger Hardcore, that fight, even though I used medkits, that fight was no fun at all. And now everything is quite dark in here, because I don't have my flamethrower, I don't have a flashlight. And we are being radiated something insane. Because this place is really radioactive. And now there's only one more threat we need to get past. I don't know if it's the same blind one. I'm thinking it's not. Maybe it's just one that's gone in here with the first one, the one we fried up in that room. But there is one we're gonna have to get past, and that is really easy. And it's quite funny that I say that, because on my recording you're gonna see a really shitty transition. Because I walked straight into him. No joke. I got really sloppy. Because he's really disoriented. He is not cocky at all. And this is also a little cutscene while you're trying to find a map in here. But I don't know what happened and why I did it. I just know that I got a bit sloppy. Is basically the word. And Klebnikov is starting to feel the effects of the radiation now. He's not doing good at all, poor fellow. And throughout this game, especially in the first level, there were sequences that are radiated. You start seeing these little almost dots all over the screen. It doesn't hurt you at all, it's just there to stress you. He does have a really good radiation suit. And he has that little needle with what they call green stuff. There is some sort of Radaway, like in the Fallout series. But he wants to get out of here before he uses it, which I can understand, because you don't want to shoot yourself up with anti-venom before you get out of the poisonous area. You want the full effect. But here we gain control over him again, and here there's the transition. Now that's some shitty editing, people. But the blind one is over here. When you round this corner, you're gonna see him walking around that shelf. There we have him. So we just move in between here on the right. He's gonna move on his merry way. He's really disoriented. He has no clue that you're here. So we can go out here. We're moving through these archives, I think. And we're getting up really close to the end. We have it right there. So I want to thank you very much for watching. I hope you have found this walkthrough to be helpful. And I will see you again in my next video. So until next time, this is the Wolfman signing off.